Oh my word, I almost made it. Almost made it into zone 4. Look at that, borderline zone 3, zone 4. Almost crept over the edge. Now, you may remember last week, I'm not going to complain, I only done one ticket. It was just a freebie ticket. And as I said last week, I probably got the clip here somewhere. I drew two lines in last Tuesday's video from both players across mine, and I did say, and I dropped another cross in down here somewhere, because I said the eye lines from both players are wherever you drop across along that sort of line there, it wasn't going to be far from either of their eye lines. So, the ball could have been sort of anywhere from up here to the left, sort of to down here a bit further even. So, yeah, I'm not complaining. I didn't really have a clue. I'm in no position to say, judging was terrible, because I'm surprised he went that far right, but considering how many, I think I went just a little bit to the left of our average. So going by our average and where our guys had gone, we were sort of around this area. So I didn't think they'd have gone that far to the right. But when you looked at the eye lines from the two players, it's still sort of the average has ended up, within those sort of boundaries, I suppose. Let's have a look at the judging. See, that's a hell of a spread. I don't think our average on Saturday was as crazy as that. But that's a hell of a spread there. Is there really a cluster? Well, I mean, there's a couple around this area, sort of central. Funny enough, I looked at the picture last night, last minute. I couldn't change it. It was too late. I'd already done the ticket. Obviously, it was Monday night. But I looked at where this guy was looking here, where my cross was up here somewhere, and I thought, he's not looking that high. I should have put mine down a bit lower. But it obviously wouldn't have made any bloody difference now. Now we look at the results today. But we've got one up here, one over here, one over there. Now I have watched clips of the judging video, and there's a point where he took out all four of those outside crosses, and it didn't make that much difference to the central cross. And I always think it's a bit much to take out four crosses anyway, because now you're down to half the judges. So the fact that there's sort of one on each corner, they more or less cancel each other out. The only thing is, of course, it does make a difference to the winner, because it's only got to be one pixel difference, and it's a completely different winner, and somebody else has won, a brand new car and 50 grand if they bought a ticket for it. But somebody has lost out as well, so that one pixel can make the difference. So I'm sort of glad they left them all in, because that way they didn't really ruin somebody's thing by deciding to take something out which would have changed the result. The fact that they left them all, if it was a choice between take four out or leave them all in, and let fate run its course, then I think they did the right thing by leaving all eight in. But yeah, huge spread. Look at it. Look at the difference between the height and the width there. Massive spread. But yeah, that was the. Let me skip along to the end a bit. Yeah, there's a section of the judging video where he's taken four of the judges' crosses out, and see there is a bit of a cluster there now. There's one up there, there's three there, but it hasn't really changed the area that much. So I sort of agree with this one about let it stand, just leave all the 8 crosses in. And that was the final result, when they put the crosses back in and let it go with 8 of them. There it is right there. That's the end result with all 8 crosses back in. And there we are. Knew it could have been anywhere. Didn't like the picture in the first place. So what are you going to do? Let's have a look at this week's picture, because I think it's along the same lines as I remember. Or I could be wrong. I usually am. Right, now I remember. Yeah, it wasn't sort of not as bad as pictures last week's, perhaps, but again, it's all about the height here. Now, if I look at this player in red at the front, I thought he was looking more or less sort of straight up ish. If I look at both eyes, I end up going up in this sort of direction. So I put my cross in the middle for now. But the problem for me was this guy on the right hand side. You can't see his eyes properly. It's anyone's guess. I didn't think he was looking that high. Originally drew a sort of a line from the angle of his head, and I ended up about there, and I thought, well, that can't be right, can it? It's got to be further away from him than that. So I ended up going there, in that direction. So I don't know. It's a tricky one. What's he smiling about anyway? It's an odd one, this, because where'd you go? Do you go even higher up there? And I think, when I think about it now then, so I think the judges are going to have a narrow spread like this, going up from the player in red, because I think that's pretty much cut and dry there. But then we've got this player on the right, where some are going to go quite high, and some of them are going to go quite low towards his head. So hopefully mine will be somewhere in between, because this is a problem. If I was to put a cross where I put that top line up there, then there are some judges that are going to go all the way down here. But for mine to be the winning cross on that top line, that means some judges have got to go all the way up here, and I don't think any of them are doing that. So I think that top line's possibly about the highest some of them will go, and that bottom line is maybe a bit too low perhaps for the judges, but in which case maybe that cross should be a little bit higher. But we'll see. I'll have a look at it throughout the week and see what I think, and I'll have a look at the average on Saturday and see what you guys think, because I always look at what you guys think. I've said this before. I look at your crosses and I think, right, why has he gone there? Because at first glance I think that's ridiculous, but then it's what has he seen that I haven't seen? So I'll have a closer look and think, oh, okay, yeah, no, it makes sense now I've thought about it. My best favourite comments, and always have been, are the ones when somebody can put, we can do the average on a Saturday, and somebody will say, it's nowhere near there, you've got to come a lot lower than that, guarantee it. And then it'll turn out then, on Tuesday, it was even higher. They always make me chuckle. But right, yeah, that's what I am for this week. Let me know what you got on, guys, because I don't think, going by the average on Saturday, I don't think many of us had gone that far to the right, so I'm not convinced that any of us did that well this week or last week, whatever. But yeah, leave a coordinate for this week. We'll have another look on Saturday, even though I think last week's average was in zone 3 as well, near in zone 4. But there we are. Revcomps, let's have a look. All I've done for Thursday's draw is this Mercedes, because of the under £1,000 cash. That's appealed to me. Didn't fancy anything else on here, so I didn't bother with anything else. Last night then they added some more for next Monday. So of course I went for the camper van and £3,000. Didn't bother with the Land Rover or the Type R or the Audi RS6 Performance. Although that comes with £10,000. It was a choice between, shall I do one on there or shall I do one on a Range Rover Velour, as Clarkson would say. And for some reason I've been having this image lately of me driving a Range Rover. I don't know why, because I wouldn't generally buy one, but I do like them. And then I thought about this Audi, and the tickets were nearly £11, and that's on the early bird. It's an RS6. Now an RS6, with all that power, you're going to use it, aren't you? So this thing is 6 years old, and it would have been hammered to death for the last 6 years. It might well have been serviced regularly and looked after. The fact that it's on Revcomps' website, it probably has got a full service history. But you know it's been hammered to death, even though it comes at £10,000. So I did go for one for the camper, one for this Velour. And it's the diesel one. It's not like a silly V8 petrol or something nonsensical like that. That would cost you £100 a mile to run. Auto draws, I have been cutting back, you'd be pleased to know. Not that you care. I didn't do one on this, even though I like this BMW. I didn't. Oh, that's today too. Ends today, look, 36% sold. Didn't bother. I did have one on this Nissan Cash Cow. I bought it last week. That ends tomorrow. Didn't bother with the app, even though I like it. And then I saw Puma ST line. Now, I've always liked these Puma ST lines. Always liked it. I thought, I've got to have one. And this is the mild hybrid as well, the MEV. And it's 155 brake horsepower. And I thought, yeah, I'll have a dabble at that. What else have we got? This Vauxhall Corsa VXR. No, I mean, it's 8 years old. And again, it's a VXR model, so it's been battered to death. Didn't fancy the Jag. These popped up in the last sort of hour or so. This Golf R line. Now, everybody loves a Golf. Who doesn't love a Golf? And this is the 2-litre diesel with the 7-speed DSG Auto. So I may well have a dabble on that. Even though I said I wouldn't, I may well. But I have cut down, to be fair. And last but not least, they chucked the Range Rover in. Now, as much as I like it, it's a manual, which is unusual. It's a 6-speed manual, which is unusual for a Range Rover Evoque. Not only that, it's 10 years old. And instead of the 2-litre diesel, it's got the old 2.2-litre diesel, which I think were pretty reliable, pretty solid. But the problem is, I mean, the ticket's only £2.5. But at the end of the day, it's a 10-year-old Range Rover. And I think to myself, am I just asking for trouble here? 10-year-old, even when they deliver it, they'll probably come back with an RAC truck, and it'll just be in my car park outside for a couple of months until I sell it. Having never driven it. So I don't know. If anything, I might have one on there, and I do like this Golf. I might have another one on the Golf. But there we are. That's it. Let me know how you got on, guys, and leave a coordinate for the weekend. And good luck.